Hi, my name is Alexandra. I'm an American who lives in Finland, and I thought we would just kind of catch up and talk about what my life has been looking like, what my life will look like coming up, and all that good stuff. So I have been in a Finnish language immersion integration course since the end of March. And now it's almost July, and I have just started my summer break, my summer vacation. So for the next 4 weeks, I will not be in class, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I definitely need like a mental break from being immersed in the Finnish language for 5 hours a day, every single day. But it's so wild though. It's so insane how much you do learn, how much you can learn when you are in an environment like that. Like, I say that like my Finnish language journey began when that course began, because before that I knew very, very little. I knew like moi, mitä kuuluu, hyvä, a couple food words, but like maybe like hyvä huomenta, hyvä yötä, hyvä ilta. Very, very, very small vocabulary, very few phrases. Because I know that I'm someone, like, I learn best in a classroom environment. I don't want to learn something incorrectly and then have it like stick in my brain. So I feel like I could do more self-study now that I have like the basis and the foundation of the Finnish language that I do have. But beforehand, I was like, I know I have this class and I will really, start to dig in then. And like most Americans, I'm not bilingual. I only speak English. And so for me, this has been just like a completely crazy, magical, eye-opening experience. And I know that a lot of people in the world, most people in the world who English is not their mother language, most people in the world are bilingual. And so I feel like I'm kind of like, this is so crazy. And everyone else is like, this is really normal. And actually you're way behind the curve. But yeah, and it feels like with this course that you go from, like kindergarten to 5th grade very quickly, like 4 years old to 10 years old very quickly, because the first day of class you're literally like, hi, hello, how are you? You're learning that. You're learning how to pronounce the Finnish alphabet. And then 2 months later, I'm writing full paragraphs and reading and listening and speaking, for 10 minutes at a time in a different language, in a very, very challenging language that has almost zero similarities to my mother tongue. And it's gonna be weird being on break, because I've gotten so used to, going to class every day, seeing my classmates every day, having that kind of like structure and routine in my life. And so today's a Sunday and I'm like, okay, I need to kind of think about the next 4 weeks and what I wanna do with it. I don't wanna waste this time. I know rest is good, rest is necessary. As an American, I am not used to it. Like we are not people that get a lot of vacation time, or used to vacation time, or used to having these like restful periods. And there are so many things I want to do outside of just learning the Finnish language. I gave up so much to be in Finland. I gave up my career that I was building in the US, and I want to make sure that I am not so wholly focused only on learning the language that in a year or 2 years or whenever I come out of this like language course, because I know I'll at least do this 1 year course, but lots of people end up taking like another year or 2 just to really, get the Finnish to sink in. I want to make sure that I don't come out of this immersion course and have no connections, no network, no prospects, because and this is gonna sound maybe a little shitty, but like I refuse to be someone who just ends up at a daycare or at an old people's home. Like I did not move halfway across the world to not have an amazing life that I built for myself. And of course, amazing is gonna mean something different to every person. For me, it means that I have a fulfilling and creative life and career. It means that I have strong friendships. It means that I am connected to my community. And I want to make sure that I take the time to foster those things as well as the Finnish language. So yeah, the last couple months, my life has really just looked like I go to school, I practice and learn Finnish all day. I come home, I do my Finnish homework. And then I try to see my friends during the week. I try to either see my Finnish friends or my immigrant friends. I have a husband as well, so I make sure I spend time with him. And I feel like lately it's just been kind of busy. There was midsummer, and then I was in Helsinki for a day, and my husband was traveling a little. But I've really learned, especially recently, it feels like, that if you don't plan stuff, your life will just pass you by. The days will pass by. And so we just had a little trip to Fisker's Village, like a little romantic getaway, just my husband and I. And it was so lovely. We got an Airbnb on a Friday night, this like tiny little cottage with no running water on this property where there was like a couple cottages and a main house. And there was a sauna, and there was like dogs and cats and bunnies and horses. And I tried to stay off my phone for that whole Friday and Saturday, which was really nice because I love social media. I love my community that I'm building across all of these platforms. I love answering comments. I just love it. I love all of it. But I definitely need to spend time away from it so then I can have experiences to come and tell you guys about. And then on that Saturday, we went into Fisker's Village, and I had planned out, all the places I want to visit, all the cafes I wanted to try, the restaurants we wanted to go to. Because I found in the past, I'll just be like, oh, let's go to Hanko for the day. Let's go to Helsinki for the day. But then I don't actually plan out what I want to do there. And then it doesn't feel as fulfilling. I feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm on my phone, Googling stuff. And especially because lots of things aren't in English, everything just takes me a little bit longer to figure out, itinerary wise and directions and all of that. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to pre-plan a little bit more to make sure that, I continue having fun experiences. I think that having novelty in your life is so important. And I saw this thing that said having new experiences and novelty in your life slows down time. The days feel so long, and the weeks and the months and the years go so fast. So the more new experiences you have, the slower you experience time. So in this month of July, I want to do a series over on TikTok of me doing at least one thing a day to build my dream life here in Finland. Whether that's me reaching out to brands that I want to have a relationship with, a connection with, starting a marketing course so I can get a marketing certificate, because even though I have so much hands-on experience in Finland, if you don't have a degree in something or a certificate in something, people don't take it as seriously. So I want to look into doing that. I want to apply for internships. I want to spend time with my friends. I want to go to Turku. I want to go to Tampere. I want to go to Helsinki. And I'm going to Helsinki to meet with someone for a secret future project that I am so excited about, so nervous about, so crazy. And I will let you guys know all of that when I can. I want to make sure that I get outside and spend time in nature this summer, even though the weather has been so bad. The weather has been so bad. I actually feel like I got tricked because last summer was my first summer in Finland, so 2024, and it was the most gorgeous summer ever. And that's when I was yeah, I'm marrying this man. I'm moving to Finland full time. And this summer has sucked. I think there's been 3 days warm enough to wear a summer dress. And most days I'm still in long sleeves. So I don't even want to be out on the boat. I don't even want to be outside. I'm why am I even wearing sunscreen? Hopefully July will be warmer. Hopefully August will also be warm, even though I know it probably won't be. What else am I doing in July? I am hosting a coffee club for my local friends. I hosted one back in May, and it was so fun. And then June kind of got away from me, especially with me preparing for all the tests that I had to do in class. And so I'm having a coffee club on July 5th, which will be super fun. And I'll get some clips from that, hopefully, to share. Life is good. Life has been good. I want to continue to make sure my life is good. Especially just because I do get those feelings once in a while, what the hell am I doing here? Especially being in this language class, because I am surrounded by people that I can't talk to all day, every day, because most people in the class don't speak English. So the only way that we can communicate is through Finnish, and our Finnish is, quite limited at the moment. I can tell you about my weekend. I can tell you what food I like. stuff like that, but I can't have like big, deep conversations that, that you really use to build friendships and relationships and connections. And I feel like I don't have a lot in common with a lot of the people in my class, and my experience as an immigrant is just so wildly different than their experience. And, it's not really people that I've chosen to be around, of course. They're just like my random classmates, and I love them, and, they're my buddies, but like to do a whole year of this course, to learn a language, and to be surrounded by people that I can't really communicate with and I don't really connect with, like it does make me kind of feel like what the hell am I doing? Why am I spending my days like this? And so I really want to make sure that I keep my goals in mind, keep building my dream life outside of class, outside of learning the Finnish language, because, and if I'm being honest, I don't think I'll ever work in Finnish. I don't really see myself working at a business that is completely in Finnish, especially because there are so many businesses where their working language is English, or they're very international companies. Like even my husband, like he does almost all of his meetings in English and all of his emails in English. And so like, I know that there is that opportunity for me here in this country. I am learning Finnish to be part of Finnish society more so. I want to be able to connect with my husband's family. I want to be able to order at restaurants and coffee shops. I want to be able to speak Finnish with the little babies that I know and my future children. And I think that's hard for my classmates and my teacher to understand, because they are in this class to learn Finnish, to find work in Finnish. And I'm like, maybe that's why I feel less stressed about class, because I'm like, I am learning this to be a part of Finnish society more so. And I'm very privileged. I'm very privileged because of that. And I know that I have lots of privileges in my situation. Oh my God. Sorry, wait, a giant wooden, like almost like pirate ship is coming into the harbor right now. That's awesome. I love when I see that go by. And I feel like I'm pretty open about my privileges. I feel like I talk about them a lot, but like I understand that being white, having English be my mother language, having my English be easily understood, like all of those things are privileges. Being married to a Finn is a privilege. Being married to a Finn who has a decent job is a privilege. Being married to a Finn who is well connected in his community is a privilege. And I would never like pretend that I don't have those privileges. However, one thing I do want to say is that all of the opportunities that I have had here in Finland and all of the friendships that I have in Finland are because of me. And sometimes people leave me comments like, well, you're able to make Finnish friends because you have a Finnish husband. I'm like, you think my husband is the one out there making friends? You think my antisocial Finnish husband is the one out there making friends for me? Absolutely not. Like he has connected me with people, and then maybe I have met people through that, but that's because I put myself out there. I texted them, I asked them to hang out, I asked them over for coffee, I show up to their house with dinner and cookies. Like I feed into those relationships. And then most of my friends actually though are people that I have met because I post online. And like they're friends that I have in real life, but I've met them because I have put myself out there, and I am the only one who is active in putting myself out there, like that is something that anyone can do. And any opportunities that I've had in Finland, whether that's working with other creators, working with businesses, making relationships and connections with businesses and people, that is all me. That is all because I post, I cold email, I reach out to people. And I don't want people to think that, I don't know, like I'm really proud of myself. And so I don't want those things to just be put on my husband. I don't want people to be like, well, her husband did this. My husband does not coddle me. My husband knows that I am a strong and smart and independent person, and he pushes me to be those things even more. Like even in the smallest ways, like if we go to a restaurant or a cafe here in Finland, he will not order for me. He is like, you either need to be brave enough to say, I don't speak Finnish and can I order in English? Or you need to be brave enough to attempt to order in Finnish. And so then if I attempt to order in Finnish and I need backup, he of course will step in and help me. but not until I say, can you help me? Like he will let me kind of stumble my way through it because he knows that that only leads to growth for me. And so yeah, like me building my social connections, my business connections, and my Finnish language connections are not because of my husband, are because of me. I just want to put that out there because I am proud of myself. And I think it's good to acknowledge when we are proud of ourselves. Anyway, I'm hoping to go to Helsinki for at least a day or two sometime later in July. So if there are any like cool events or happenings, please let me know. Same with Tampere, same with Turku if there's anything cool coming up. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great summer. As always, please let me know if you have questions about my immigration experience, culture shocks, being an American in Finland, makeup, beauty, skincare, recipes. I feel like I kind of do it all. So, kiitos kun katsoit. Thanks for watching.